good, Colorado? Broadcasting at the Colorado Media School studios, it's sports with Staxxx and Shaggy.
Jokic gives it back. Murray, shot clock to 9. Here's Murray off 1 foot. Oh, goodness. From Jamal Murray, what a shot! In the clutch, off 1 foot.
Just walked off under his own power on third down. Locke looking end zone for Sutton, and the diving attempt. Did he get it? Touchdown! What a catch! The first NFL touchdown for Drew Lock, and his parents love it in Denver.
Check swing roller. Tulowitzki. Colorado's the National League champion.
And good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everyone. My bad. Here, the 8 o'clock hour. This is Sports with Staxxx and Shaggy. We are live on the Colorado Media Campus.
What it do? How
Coming
y'all
to
doing?
you with some sports. But, hey, man, before we came on the show, I spilled a bunch of Mountain Dew on me, so I'm not in the best of moods. Have you ever, what's the worst thing to spill on you when you have something to take care of?
No, the worst thing to spill on you is beer, because then the whole rest of the day you're smelling like beer, and I don't want to be smelling like beer no matter where I go.
Well, first of all, what are you doing in a position with an open beer container around you? I'm not judging, but still, if you have something to do and you have an open beer container around you, wouldn't that be something you try to avoid?
That's why you do it when you don't have something to do.
No, man. I've had custard on me, bro. I had an all white outfit. You know what custard is? It's like ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
It's not
the pleasure. It would go.
When I think of custard, though, you think of mustard. That's what I think
custard
of.
Mustard.
Yeah, you think something
they
like
rhyme.
that. Yeah, or even then, custard. That sounds like something that would be a sauce. It wouldn't sound like it'd be a ice cream, a custard.
Oh man, the Tapatio sauce. I get that dirty on me
Ooh.
all the time. Hey, cause I overflow my hot sauce every time. Tapatio, Valentina, Sriracha, all that. Every time I eat it, bro, I overflow it. Definitely spill it on me, bro. But we have some headlines going in from today. A big headline being with the Rockies. They cut down their roster to a 30-man roster.
But before we talk some headlines, let's get into a little bit of a Ron Burgundy.
Oh, you still have Rob Burgundy with us? I thought we got rid of him. My bad.
There's some things going on in sports today that will make your brain fall out of your skull. Because I've got nothing here. You're giving me baseball and hockey, and I got my keister blowing in the wind.
It's sports.
All around the clock. Sports all the time.
That's the concept of the news.
Oh, that's never going to work. That's ridiculous.
I didn't know we still had Rob Burgundy around.
Hey, we got a couple other clips. I'm saving them in the vault. I have to cut them up, and I have to put them on here. They're in the vault right now.
Okay. But we have some headlines coming in for today. The Rockies finally named their 30-man final roster. I think a big one was with Matt Kemp making it. I know we traded for him, but he's definitely a shell of himself, and I think one of those guys who is definitely on the edge of being cut of this team. You saw how they got rid of the older pitchers and wanting to. Oh, hello, how you doing there? Oh, hit me with the intro as I'm speaking. No, man. No, I thought Matt Kemp was one of those players. I wouldn't say surprised with those guys who was on the edge. They did trade for him, but at the same time, the Rockies are going towards the direction of the younger direction and getting rid of their older pieces. And I'm telling you, the Rockies, they have a phenomenal offensive game outside of Arenado and Trevor Story and Charlie Blackmon. You got some good guys in Dahl. Murphy can hit a little bit. Just the thing, and the big question is the pitching. And can Kyle Freeland rediscover himself? Can you have a reliable rotation? And, relievers, they're going to be relievers. They're going to be inconsistent. But as long as you can have, not a meltdown like we had last year. And with that, being said, the MLB also announced today a 16-team playoff format, to where now it actually puts up a better shot for the Rockies to find themselves in a playoff position. Now, Jake, you're a Rockies fan, right? Rocky fan over there?
Born and raised.
Born and raised a Rocky fan. Do you feel a little bit more confident with them adding the 16-team playoff format, the Rockies getting a shot? You know, because they have everything on the plus side. They're playing a 60-game season, 16-game or 16-team playoff format. Everything's looking like in their favor.
Yeah, when you look at it, all the ducks are in a row, and all the things are in a row for us to make a playoff run. Last year we did have 91 losses, which that's not good at all. But
I mean, you're not even going to play 91 games this year, though.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, it's a lot different from playing 160 games and the chemistry and the camaraderie that you have in those games compared to 60 games. It's just, you know, every game here counts as 3 actual games. So one of these 60 games actually counts as one of the 160. That's a big difference. Each of these games count more, but then that's going to make the players want to play more. It really is everyone's year.
So they've had their last 2 exhibition games against the Texas Rangers. And, you know, not looking too shabby. Scott Oiberg, one of the pitchers in rotation, yet to see the field. But, you know, I'm excited to see what the pitching can do in the sense that, you know, are they going to have the same year that they had last year? Or are they going to be able to pick it up? Because Kyle Freeland, I don't think people remember, just, you know, a couple years ago, he had one of the best win-loss records in the entire MLB, not just the National League.
He did. It's going to be very interesting, honestly. It's going to be a very interesting season, honestly. I'm very excited. And speaking of, Rockies have their first game tomorrow, if I don't believe if that's truth.
Yeah, tomorrow. So opening day. Tonight is actually opening night. The Yanks playing the reigning champions Washington Nationals as they release their banner out, the 2019 World Series champions, the Nats. But not the happiest news for the Nats, as their young superstar Juan Soto tested positive for COVID-19, and now it has hit the Major League Baseball market. It's hit NBA, it's hit the NFL, and now talking about Corona affecting the MLB of what, you know, it taking down one of its superstars. It's finally happened. With Juan Soto down, though, I don't think it hurts the Nationals too much. They still have a wonderful rotation. You know, it's funny, the story of Bryce Harper. You know, he left the Nationals to go with a team. He thought he'd had the best shot of winning, and then he leaves them, and the Nationals win the World Series.
And it's insane. It's really crazy.
You lose a superstar, mega superstar, and Bryce Harper win the World Series, and now you're, you know, in a sense, losing another young superstar for the temporary in Juan Soto. And it's the big question is, you know, how, and it's not just for the MLB, but for all sports, how many coronavirus tests need to test positive until a recall happens? Now it's leaning towards the right direction. I don't want to be the bad, you know, the bad news guy, whatever you want to call it. The bearer of bad news. I was looking for that, you know, a little dyslexic over here. Hey. But if it starts leaning, because right now things look good, but if it takes a turning point, turn to the worst, what's going to be put into play? You just always have to have that in the back of your mind. You can't not think of the worst case scenario is always going to be there, no matter what. It might be a scenario, but it will always be there.
No, it's true. Well, transitioning, actually, we have another headline, and that's actually going on to the other side of sports, and that is hockey. And Seattle has made their first hockey team and being the Seattle Krakens. And this is very interesting because when you look at this, you know, their stadium, what do you think they're going to be called? That's called the Crack House now, right? The stadium's called the Crack House, right? And what would you call their fans now?
Trap House.
Yeah, the Trap House. Now, what do you call them? Now, what are you calling your fans for the Kraken fans? They're calling the Crackheads. You got to be the Crackheads.
No, the Fiends.
The Fiends? The Fiends are up in the Crack House.
Oh, no, man. You know, this is a good sign for Seattle because this is an in the direction of bringing a professional sports team back. This is the first professional sports team since the Seattle Supersonics, and I always thought that they might bring a comeback for the Supersonics, but right now bringing the Kraken, I don't know. I would have brought a basketball team first before a hockey team. That's just my argument. You're close to the Canadian border, so I can see why you're bringing hockey into Seattle for sure. You definitely bring some revenue numbers in.
So, Penny, for your thoughts. The last time the NHL added a team was the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and on their inaugural season, they went all the way to the championship, and I believe they played against the Washington Capitals and lost. But still, on their inaugural season, going to play in the Stanley Cup Finals, that's insane. Your first season, and let alone playing in Vegas?
Yeah, they have one of the best uniforms.
They do.
Have one of the best uniforms, man. They
they
don't
also
have nothing on those 80s and 90s Broncos oranges, but hey,
Tampa Bay does, but that's a little bit of a...
Hey, what about the Nugget Skylines of the 80s? We're not talking about the 80s. We're talking about the 2010 Nuggets, though, and we coming back to you. This is Staxxx and Shaggy, part of the Be On Air Network. GoMileHigh.com.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man! Live in the now!
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing!
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school, but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org.
So I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember, oh man, I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama.
What?
The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing. See, the Lama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Lama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Lama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again, but I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com, so I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
And we are back here on the Colorado Media School campus here, and you can follow me at Amato is balling Amato_is balling at Twitter. You can follow my man behind the glass, Shaggy, he hosts on Mondays and Wednesdays. I host Tuesdays and Thursdays. It was a little bit around the other way until we had a little bit of malfunction yesterday. My bad for not being here.
Hey, man, you have stuff to take care of. And
man.
You can also find me on Inside the Huddle from 3 to 4, or you can find me every once in a while on Rush Hour from 5 to 6. And as well as our boy Staxxx here, he hops on Rush Hour every once in a while.
Every once in a while, make a cameo. Hey, that was my show. Me and Steven's show, we started.
Really? You guys created that show?
And I let y'all have, I freed you under my wing.
Did you now? Did you? I think it's freed Brandon under the wing. Or not, Brandon.
Hey, it's crazy. Squirrel can't, and Squirrel just put his prints on everything. Now, he's part of everything. That's so dope. Shout out to Squirrel out there. You can follow Squirrel. What's Squirrel's Twitter handle?
At the Squirrel.
Just at the Squirrel. Like duh baby. The Squirrel. What's better, the baby or little baby?
The baby or little baby? Man, it's got to be little baby, bro. Little baby.
Miles made that face what?
I mean, we got to go with little baby. We were talking about the Rush Hour earlier, and we were talking about the mumble rappers, and it's you guys you're mentioning all the bad ones. You can't mention a good one. Little baby can spit. He actually has some lyrics, and he's got a flow too.
Well, let me ask you this question: if this guy was a rapper, what rapper would he be? Relate this guy's game. I'm gonna give you an athlete, his name, and you say what kind of rapper he'd be. Bo. What kind of rapper would he be? Who's Bo?
Who's Bull? I mean, I'm going to go tall, skinny guy, Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg could ball, too. You saw his son got some scholarships a couple years ago. Bo yesterday had 6 blocks in the Nuggets scrimmage game, going with 16 points. Now, there was a sequence in the game where Bo had a block on one end and had the grabbed the rebound off of his own block in transition and shot a 3. Pulled up Curry-like. Didn't go to the rim. Now, this is the new NBA. Now, for sure, I doubt Mike Malone would want to see that in a game that mattered. Of course, letting Bo just spread his wings as much as he can. Get as many minutes as he pleases before the actual season starts up. And as Nuggets fans, we got to soak this all in, because this is the only part of the season, I think, that we will see Bo. Is what I said a couple shows ago, right? Right?
No, you did. Yeah, you
really
did.
I'm very convinced.
Hey, I want to say, because I think on Tuesday, I believe I said that we were going to see a lot of Bo in the first.
I wouldn't say a lot of him. If anything happens, I'd say he could throw him in with a little role. But, I didn't even have him in the main rotation at all, getting any minutes. I had him sitting on the bench with PJ Dozier. But seeing him ball out, I could give him maybe 5 to 10 minutes a game. Have him play the 3 as it looked like he was playing. The Nuggets played 3 bigs in their starting role yesterday, with Nikola Jokic, Bo, and Mason Plumlee.
And speaking of Bo, we actually have an interview with his dad that we can pull up right now. So I'm going to pull up that sound for y'all.
Want to be just like your daddy?
Yes.
Why?
Because I love basketball.
I wasn't born when my dad was in the NBA.
Leon Wood feeds Manu. Nice pass and a good slam.
I think when I was about 4 or 5 is when I realized he was a famous basketball player.
Mama, you know what your dad used to do, right?
Yes.
What I used to do?
He used to dunk over people.
And?
He used to shoot over them.
Manu, oh, 6 threes from the Newt. Look at Charles, he's loving it.
I used to watch videos and YouTube, and that's when I realized.
Is he a great daddy?
Yes.
Why?
Because I love him.
I love you too.
Love you too, Dad.
Oh, hey, and that was Bo with his dad Manupo, and that brings a little tear to you. R.I.P. to Manupo, passing back in, I believe, 2010. Very tall,
that gives me chills down my spine.
Very tall.
That gives me chills down my spine.
Hey, and it had the soundbite of him hitting 6 threes, which we'll have a little bit later for you. We'll have something for that a little bit later down the line in the show against Charles Barkley's 93 Suns.
Dude, and not only that, but when we were looking at that, Charles Barkley had a night that night, 36, 9, and 17.
Hey, we're going to save it for him. We're going to save it for him. He did have a night when triple-doubles were not as great as, when triple-doubles were way more great than what they are now. My bad. Let me rephrase that. Nah, man. it's great to see because not a lot of guys, athletes live up to their parents' athletic expectation or what the media brings upon them. If you're a kid of an athlete, they expect you to emulate some sort of what your parent does. And some of those guys, you look at Michael Jordan's son or kids, both of them, they didn't become what what everyone thought, Michael Jordan's kids would be. Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. is a good player, but is he a Tim Hardaway Sr.? Oh, by any means not. By any means not. Man, the list will go on for on. I would want to see what Bronny James, LeBron's son's gonna look like, but Bo, I think he could be way better than his dad for sure, putting way better numbers.
Oh, I
don't think the defensive game. His dad was 7'6", 7'7", however tall he was. I don't think he'll ever have the defensive game he had, but offensively, way more versatile.
Oh, seriously. And I know we were talking about this before. Is their shot taking or their shots are the exact same?
Yeah,
it's an ugly shot, but
ugly.
hey, it gets the job done.
If it goes in. It's the funniest story. I think Bo scoring 16 points and 6 blocks yesterday. He was drug tested after the game.
It's crazy.
And come on, man. That guy.
So
that guy had performance enhancement drugs in his system.
So you know what it looks like actually when they take a shot? It looks like they're trying to take something and put it on the top shelf, doesn't it? It looks like they're trying to take something and put it on the top shelf.
No, he looks like they're trying to launch it from like sidearm, man. Well, man. This guy's giving me something. What are you doing? Bro.
He's getting us set up. We're doing the video. I don't know if you all know behind the scene, we have our man Yeti, Stephen Bailey, right here.
He's over here messing up everything. He thinks he's helping out.
Hey, he's setting up the camera.
Oh, no. We're giving you a hard time, Steven. No, man.
If he wants to hop on the mic, he can. I'm good. I got a class I got to do. You heard it first. But anyway.
No, getting back with the bowl. I could see him, I wouldn't say worst case scenario, but if someone goes down at the 3, I could see the Nuggets experimenting with it down the stretch with a 5 to 10 minute limit. Maybe even if he performs well, give him 15 to 20.
Oh, seriously. And I know I was telling you yesterday and today is, they're playing their next game is against the New Orleans Pelicans, and that's Zion versus Bol.
And this is the best opportunity for the NBA to make their money. There's no one's going to sit out of that. I'm pretty sure that the NBA is going to make sure that these players play that because this is going to be for revenue purpose. Bol, Nikola Jokic versus Zion Williamson and Lonzo Ball. That's great entertainment if you're an actual basketball fan, and not even just that, for the casual fan.
Oh, it is. It's going to be insane, honestly. I cannot wait to see. And we already know that most likely John Morant's going to win the award for Rookie of the Year since they...
and that's funny because there was a article, top 100 players going into the tournament. John Morant was ranked 34. Zion Williamson was ranked 5 spots ahead of him at 29. Now, that just shows how insanely high not just the NBA is or, the promoters for the NBA is on Zion Williamson, but how big the media is on Zion Williamson.
Oh, that's true, man. And, we saw him out of Duke.
Only 19 games played.
Yeah, seriously. I will admit, his 19 games, he was very high production, but only 19 games. That's what, a fourth of your season?
He did.
It's about a fourth of your season right there.
It's about like what 20.
20 out of 80.
The 20 game mark, 21 game mark would be about he had a game, 35 points against LA. The thing, and I keep saying this about Zion Williamson, I think he's just the modern-day Blake Griffin, to where if he develops his skill, because you're not going to always depend on your athleticism. And Blake Griffin, his athleticism turned on him and had, a few surgeries because of how athletic he was. And he's able to stay in the league because of being able to develop a skill like point forward type game. And I think that's going to be the thing with Zion Williamson. The only downfall is the fan and the media affair is not as big of when you're when you're not a highlight film. Blake Griffin is not a highlight film no more.
No, he's not.
So the fans don't give him that love that he experienced in Lob City. Zion Williamson, he's not going to get that love as soon as he develops that skilled like player that skilled-like player game, and after he's had 3 or 4 surgeries and he's not as athletic as he was in his first stages of his career. Everyone loves the highlight film. And I think that's just what Zion Williamson's going to go through, comparing him to Blake Griffin.
No, it's true, man. It really is true. I was high on Zion out of college. I will admit, I was very.
Everyone's high. He's the most highly touted since LeBron James coming out of high school. If they didn't abolish that rule, Zion would have came out straight out of high school.
He would have, but then I think of it, and the way he plays and his style of play, it's really physical. He slams down on his knees too much. I'm worried about his knees. His knees are going to give out if he doesn't learn how to twitch up his dunking. He's going to, injure himself.
Yeah, and that's what comes with all the Blake Griffin stuff, man. And he does have a skill to him. I think you remember his first game, his first night playing, he hit like 4 threes. He went nuts against San Antonio. Went completely nuts. Had Twitter going crazy. He does have that skill, and so if he could develop that the way Blake Griffin's been able to develop that with Detroit these last couple of years, and even a little bit with the Clippers, I think Zion Williamson could definitely have some longevity. And I know people are questioning that longevity because of the way he plays and the reckless abandon he plays with. But I think if he develops a skillful play set, he definitely will have a longer than usual career than people expect.
Could be possible. It could be possible. I'm very excited to see. I'm very high on John Morant now. John Morant has proven to me that he's going to be in the league for a good amount of time. But Zion, I want to see that you cannot get hurt.
Hey, a couple NBA rookies right there. We got a couple NFL rookies coming up. Yo, stay tuned. Next.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man. Live in the now.
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember, oh man, I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama.
What?
The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing. See, the Lama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Lama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Lama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again. But I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com. So I got that going for me, which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org.
30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
You gotta love Ron Burgundy, man. I mean, all of our takes that we have from him, I'm gonna get some more. We're gonna be calling it the Ron Burgundy and Staxxx and Shaggy show.
I'm all right on that. Ron Burgundy, no, there's not enough for two in this town. He could have his little cameos on the show. This is our show, Ron Burgundy. He's always trying to take time, get his airtime in. No, man. Drew Lock reporting to Broncos training camp, now going to have to go through a quarantine process. They cleaned out the facility, all that. We'll test, we'll report rookies and quarterbacks reporting Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll test, or we'll quarantine. And Monday, we'll hopefully make a report back. Now, with one of those rookies, we said Jerry Jeudy, who got his rookie contract after a couple rookies the other day, like Henry Ruggs, getting paid. And we all had the question, when's Jerry Jeudy going to get his rookie contract? And that was today, getting paid a 4-year, $15.2 million with the $8.6 guaranteed bonus. Making that money. Hey, shout out all those 99 babies making that money. Jerry Jeudy's one of them.
Oh, seriously, man. Seriously. Well, shout out all the 90s babies getting in there.
Hey.
Honestly, tell me now, it kind of feels weird. We're at that age now where you look in the NFL and you're like, Sam Darnold, he's my age. Kyler Murray, he's my age.
Yeah.
I could have done more by this time.
Oh, no. I mean, it's all right, though. Those guys are freaks of nature. Jerry Jeudy, now, it brings me to the question, who will have a better breakout rookie performance season with KJ Hamler or Jerry Jeudy? Now, everyone's high on Jerry Jeudy. We've seen the route running. We know what he can do. We know what the school he's came from. He has a winning pedigree to his game.
See, I'm really high on KJ Hamler. I thought KJ Hamler looked really good out of the draft. I like speed receivers. I really, really think
But who would have a better season?
Well, think about this. Say they double-team Cortland Sutton, and they're putting their best man corner or best corner on Jerry Jeudy. That's going to leave KJ Hamler or Noah Fant with great matchups. So I really could see KJ Hamler having a great year, or Noah Fant having a great year.
I wouldn't even put it where KJ Hamler has a better year by him by even being part of the pass game. KJ Hamler, who arguably one of the fastest receivers in college football last year. Jerry Jeudy, fast as well. But KJ Hamler, man, I can see him being our front runner to be the return man. And in the special teams, do a little bit what McCole Hardman did. You saw Denver went out and got speed. They tried to adapt what the Broncos, what the Kansas City Chiefs do. If you're gonna beat them, you gotta play their play style, man. And they've definitely added a lot of speed to this offense. Noah Fant is not your fastest receiver anymore. KJ Hamler can have a phenomenal year just in the special teams. And see, Jerry Jeudy, he can have a phenomenal year too, but I don't think that Jerry Jeudy will be the main centerpiece of that receiving game. That's going to be Cortland Sutton, and then I think after that, Noah Fant. I think Jerry Jeudy will be the third man in that passing game.
Do you think Jerry Jeudy is? Well, yeah. Honestly, I also think we're really not talking about Melvin Gordon and his impact on that offense, because everyone's going to get touches, and you know they got Melvin Gordon to throw the ball to. So there's a situation when, especially in the red zone, I mean, there's no way. It's either going to be him or Noah Fant in the red zone.
It's a terrible contract for Melvin Gordon. I just don't like it. You $8 million for a guy who, yeah, he's not bad, but you already have a number one, and now it's
but
not.
Your number one can't catch the ball out of the backfield.
But right now, check that out. Do you really need to have a receiving back to be successful in this game? No.
It helps your quarterback, though. It helps your young quarterback, though.
It helps, but do you need it?
I think
it's just disrespectful signing Melvin Gordon, because now you have Melvin Gordon making more money than Phillip Lindsay, who is a guy who obviously before the year he's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He can be your number one. Melvin Gordon, yeah, he can do a lot, but at the same time, it's going to just bring a lot of chemistry, throw the chemistry off. And, Melvin Gordon was doing what he's doing in San Diego. But at the same time, man, I feel there's really no need for him out here. not necessarily no need for him, but we could have got a receiving back of a different kind, not necessarily Melvin Gordon. I think that he just had that value on his name, and John Elway jumped the gun to go get him.
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, you need a receiving running back in the NFL. If you look at all the successful teams, all of them have running backs that they can throw to out of the backfield.
And if that's what the Broncos
49ers,
needed,
the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Vikings, the Saints, all those teams have running backs that you can throw to out of the backfield, or multiple running backs.
And if that's what the Broncos needed, then you go get those budget guys. You don't go and waste $8 million on Melvin Gordon. Now Melvin Gordon is, and as I said, nice, but you still have a number one in Phillip Lindsay, and you.
Who are you going to go to, though? I mean, if you're not going to go Melvin Gordon, there was a couple of running backs in the market. Like Chris Thompson was in the market, and he was a good receiving running back. But if I'm going Chris Thompson or Melvin Gordon, I'm going Melvin Gordon. And honestly, the reason they probably did it is because they know that Phillip Lindsay.
But if you're trying to budget, though, now you had to pay Phillip Lindsay here soon. Now it's only 2 years, kind of, you know what I mean, playing the safe side, not giving him a long-term deal, only a short-term deal. I think the second year may be an option. I'm not too sure on the details of that deal.
But honestly, I feel like this move really more or less affects Royce Freeman because Phillip Lindsay already knew his role as a starter. He's going to be your first and second down running back. You're bringing out Melvin Gordon for that third down. You don't want Phillip Lindsay out there. I get Phillip Lindsay's a great running back, but he's not the receiving running back that Melvin Gordon is. He can
develop it, though. I think what Phillip Lindsay can be, he hasn't had the most polishing receiving numbers, but he also, at the same time, who are the guys that's been throwing to him for the last 3 years?
Yeah, that is true.
And then with Melvin Gordon, who's been the guy throwing to him the last 3 years, a guy who is smart. And Melvin Gordon, he's not getting downfield passes. He's getting passes in the backfield, in a situation where that's the get out of jail free card. You know what I mean? If the quarterback's under pressure, just throw it in the backfield. Yes, he does make plays after the catch. I won't take that away from him. But at the same time, Phillip Lindsay, I don't think has been able to show his receiving potential, his potential in the receiving game.
I don't think the Broncos want to take that risk, though. When you already have a running back that's already established in the NFL as a great red zone threat and as well as a receiving threat at the backfield, you don't want to take that risk. You have a young quarterback that you're trying to develop, and you want to give him as many weapons as possible. This is a great way to give him weapons. It's not going to be a long-term deal. Melvin Gordon is not going to be in the Broncos for the next 5 years, but this is going to be a short-term deal. Help him with his accuracy. Help him with, when you bring him out there and you have Melvin Gordon lined up, you have Noah Fant lined up, you have Jerry Jeudy lined up, you have Cortland Sutton lined up, you have KJ Hamler or Deshaun Hamilton. There's a lot of weapons and there's a lot of firepower out there. Not everyone's going to be able to get covered. Most likely, Melvin Gordon's going to have a running or a linebacker on him, and with that linebacker, he's going to beat him every time.
And in hindsight, what the Broncos are obviously doing is they're getting Drew Lock as many weapons as possible. And if that means signing a guy who didn't average over 4 yards per carry last year to $8 million a year, then that's what they're going to do. Now, yes, Melvin Gordon has had a year of averaging 5 yards per carry, 2 years ago, 2018. It's not that we don't need two backs. I think, Phillip Lindsay is, he flourishes in a two-back system. He still has, I think the role to be our one back. I like that system, just the one back. Now in the NFL, they don't play a lot of that, with the game catering more towards the passing game for sure. But I think with bringing in Melvin Gordon to that $8 million a year contract, it's just very disrespectful to Phillip Lindsay because, as I said, he's making way more than Phillip Lindsay. Lindsay's still on a rookie contract.
It's honestly more disrespectful to Royce Freeman, honestly. Royce Freeman got drafted in the third round.
So what have you done for me lately business, though? Royce Freeman, yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's more disrespectful to him. He should honestly feel like he's on the hot seat because you have Melvin Gordon coming in and Phillip Lindsay, yes, he feels like it's – but they're going to do a split role. You know that they're going to bring out Phillip Lindsay for first and second down. They're going to bring out Melvin Gordon for passing situations, and they're going to bring him in for the red zone. If anything, that cuts into Royce Freeman's carries.
I can see the Broncos putting Royce Freeman in a situation where he is given a lot more touches than you'd expect. So where it would be.
But where are these touches going to be coming from?
No.
Are they going to be short?
Check it out.
Short yardages?
The first 2-3 games. So it could be like trade insurance. So it could show other teams in the league like, yo, we got this guy who can do this when you give him the ball. He doesn't get a lot of carries a game, but he can do this when he gets the ball. So I'm pretty sure they're just going to use Royce Freeman as trade insurance, and I'm optimistic that Royce Freeman will not be in a blue and orange uniform after
next year.
After the trade deadline. No, by the trade deadline he won't be.
No, I won't. That's something I will agree with you on. He's on the hot seat. He is on the hot seat.
I wouldn't call it a hot seat. A hot seat is more of like you were there. I wouldn't say necessarily carry the team, but you had a solidified starting role, and he never really had a solidified starting role.
But that's what I'm saying.
Always
He
sharing
never
time
had,
with Philip Lindsay.
and that's what I'm saying. He gets drafted 3rd overall. He gets his job taken by an undrafted rookie. And then after he gets his job taken by an undrafted rookie, 2 years later they go and sign a running back that's a veteran running back. That's almost pushing him. They're pushing him down on the depth chart. That's the same thing that they were doing to Josh Rosen in Miami.
Hey man, it's the business with the NFL though with the backs. Now with Josh Rosen is a different story, but with running backs get moved all the time. Royce Freeman, yeah, they didn't give him his opportunity, but at the same time, management, they know that you can find another Royce Freeman. You can find another Philip Lindsay. You can find another Melvin Gordon.
And you could almost have blamed Devontae Booker for him not getting those carries because they were giving those carries to Devontae Booker as well, and that was not a good idea. I mean, look at him now. He's not on the team now. He was never a good trade for them.
He was going to Belichick liked him. He was going to the Patriots.
He did.
He really liked him, man, and we snagged him. I don't know what we thought we were doing, taking Belichick, taking something away from Belichick. We thought that would help us in the long run, which definitely did not.
Yeah, anything that Belichick's willing to get rid of probably is not a good football commodity.
No, he wasn't really willing to get rid of. He just wasn't. He wasn't 100% sure, but nonetheless, that whole era with Devontae Booker, I'm glad is over because it really didn't really have any print onto that team whatsoever for his 4-year duration with the squad.
No, seriously, it was interesting. You know what I actually think of? Remember Capri Bibbs, CSU product, used to play for Colorado or for Colorado for Denver.
A rapper.
He was a rapper.
Have you seen his raps?
I have, which it's just
they're not bad. You know, have you seen Antonio Brown's music?
Horrible. Know who actually can rap though? That Chiefs receiver, Dwayne Bowe. He can actually rap.
Dwayne Bowe.
Yeah.
Remember
he was a good receiver for a couple years.
3-6 Mafia right there. Remember we talking about him, man.
We were.
Yeah, he got with the grills and all. Hey man, Dwayne Bowe. That's a throwback. We got some more throwbacks coming to you. It's Thursday. Some throwback Thursdays. We'll be back to you here shortly. This is Staxxx and Shaggy on GoMileHigh.com, a part of the Be On Air Network.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man. Live in the now.
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Showing.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school, but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
I'm taking a trip over to Tibet, see the sights, climb a hill or two. But I remember, oh man, I got one guy out here who I actually know. So I give an old ringy-dingy to the Lama.
What?
The Dalai Lama, his laminescence, flowing robes, the grace, bald, striking really. I says to the Lama, hey, you remember that round I caddied for you down in Shangri-La? Well, apparently some station out in Lakewood taped the whole thing. See, the Lama's a big hitter. Nailed 2 eagles in a row that day. Well, he says, what station could have possibly gotten all the way out to my sacred holy lands, the Shangri? I says it was none other than GoMileHigh.com, Lama. They got the best sports coverage in the state. The Lama actually tips me this time, 2-1. So he pretty much stiffed me again. But I got him hooked on GoMileHigh.com. So I got that going for me. which is nice.
That's great.
GoMileHigh.com.
If you have ever dreamed about being on TV or the radio, listen up. Start your broadcasting career today at the Colorado Media School. You'll have the opportunity to work with and learn from actual on-air talent that work within the Colorado media. Within a few months, you'll know how to engineer, produce, and even host your own TV/radio show. I'm a current graduate, and let me tell you, the Colorado Media School has given me opportunities and internships that have helped me take my career to the next level. So apply today at the Colorado Media School, located at 404 South Uppan Street in Lakewood, or visit us at coloradomediaschool.org.
Sir, Thursday. Throw it back. Throwback Thursday. You know how we do it, man. It's a new segment we trying to start over here. We got the Evergreen Wednesdays going in. Throwback Thursdays coming to you every day, 8 to 9. Staxxx and Shaggy here on GoMileHigh.com, part of the Be On There network. Hey, man, you know, I'm kind of sad and excited at the same time. Mixed emotions going on. This is the last show.
Up until tomorrow again.
This is the last show of the week.
It is.
And the last segment of the week,
But
man.
I'm trying to get them a little bit of a tease for tomorrow. So if you guys want to catch us tomorrow, we'll be on Inside the Huddle from 3 to 5. We'll actually be expanding our show, and we'll be talking about the top 50 NFL teams of all time and the top 50 college teams of all time.
We're not doing 100? Not doing 100?
Well, we were talking about doing 100, then I was like, that's a lot of teams.
But that's good content, man.
That is good content. So we'll be getting back to you
100
guys
squad.
tomorrow.
I want 100. Let's do 100.
All right. We'll be getting back to you guys tomorrow.
We'll get
on
back
that.
to you on that. We got to
3 to 5 tomorrow.
Figure things out.
At GoMileHigh.com.
Nah, for sure, man. Throwback Thursdays and, you know, a couple throwbacks. But before that, let's do this. How I want to start it off every Throwback Thursday segment. This day in sports history. And today, I don't know if you knew this, July 23rd. And this is a little bit relevant with this squad also moving or relocating its team. And 30 years ago from today, 1990, Al Davis moved the Raiders from Los Angeles back to Oakland, which is coincidental because exactly 30 years ago, or to the date, you know, the
Raiders are now going to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. So a little bit of sports history for you right there. And this was, I would say, the Raiders were borderline okay. Were they winning? They were.
Hey man, they won in the 80s, and not only that, but they were decent in the 90s and then decent in the late early 2000s. I mean, they did go to the Super Bowl in 2001, and as well as they lost to the Patriots in that divisional game, and Super Bowl in 2002 and divisional game in 2001. Getting them mixed up there.
Yeah. So the Raiders, LA, I believe, was that was the first destination, wasn't it, or was it originally Oakland?
So it was originally Oakland, went to LA, went back to Oakland, and now in Las Vegas. And they are the only LA team to ever win a Super Bowl. Can you tell me what year they won that one in?
Oh, it was John Flores, wasn't it? Or was it John Madden who won that one?
It was John Madden. The quarterback was Jim Plunkett.
All right, don't take it easy on me. Hold on. I got this, bro. Can you give me the team. Give me the team.
Give you the team?
That they beat. Wasn't it the Oh man, Willie.
They beat the Redskins. And I'll give you this. That Redskins team that they beat was one of the greatest offenses in NFL history, and actually at the time had a then NFL record for most points scored, and the Raiders blew them out in the Super Bowl.
70s, right? 70s, right?
80s. Early 80s.
82.
Close. 83.
83.
1983 Raiders beat the 1983 Redskins.
That was with Howie Long and
Howie Long.
Yeah. Willie Brown.
Willie Brown wasn't on that team. Willie Brown was in the 70s.
Early 70s. Yeah, that's okay. That was the clip I was referencing.
Yeah, that's the 76 Raiders, but that's still a legendary team in itself.
All right, man, getting into our throwbacks, though, because, you know, we're talking about the Raiders. What are we doing talking about the Raiders for more than 4 minutes? Have we lost our minds?
Hey, I do like Las Vegas, though.
No,
so shout out Las Vegas.
Hey, all right, that's maybe something different. I would love to experience that. We're still talking about the Raiders. Change it up. All right. Hey, some tremendous throwbacks. Why don't you want to share your tremendous throwback for me, eh? You know what it is. I think, you know, you may be a fan of them. You know, I don't know. Are you a bandwagon? And let me rephrase that. That's not a tremendous throwback. That's a terrible throwback. To the outfits, to the play calls, to the coaches, except for Leroy Salmon.
So
Leroy Salmon, shout out him.
Leroy Salmon, top 100 player, great NFL player.
I'm not hating.
Going back to that.
Only one.
1976 and 1977, the Bucs started off with the worst record ever in the NFL. Their franchise started off 0-26, didn't win one game in their first year in 76, and went 10 games of losing in their second year until they won their first game in 1977.
Now, what was worse, the Browns going 1-31 over a 2-year span, or franchise starting 0-26? Like, it's hard to debate that because, yeah, there's
a lot of trash right there.
Yeah, but the Browns, they only won one game in 33 games. So the Tampa Bay, you're starting off your franchise. How are you even establishing a fan base if you haven't even won a game yet?
I mean, if I was a fan there, I'd be going to the games to cheer for the other team. That's what I'm doing. Like, those New York Knicks fans.
Yeah, those Knicks fans. I don't know. It's terrible. I know when they won their first game, who was their quarterback and they won that first game? Was it Doug Williams?
It was Doug Williams.
Doug Williams.
Back in the day.
Shout out Doug Williams. And
he was a legendary Tampa Bay quarterback, went on to Washington, touching back to what we said earlier, and was the first African-American quarterback to win in the Super Bowl, ironically, against your Denver Broncos. 42-10 in 1987.
No, don't bring that up. No.
35
hey, you know
points.
what? Great athletes have short-term memory. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. What game? I don't even know. With the Washington football team, I don't even know. They had Super Bowls? They got Super Bowls?
Yeah, they didn't have a Super Bowl past before 2015 for any Broncos fans.
All right. Terrible throwback number 2. What you got? I want to say the best for last. I was going to start with the tremendous throwbacks, but we got to do the terrible ones. Terrible throwback number 2.
Terrible throwback number 2, if my computer will load.
No, don't worry about that. Terrible number 2, 96 Broncos. And you know what? Sour taste. But whenever you lose to an expansion team, wild card, you go 13-3. You got John Elway, Rod Smith, essentially the same offense that you have when you win in 98 and 97. You could have gone back to back to back. You could have been a three-peat. Has there been a three-peat in the NFL? I don't think so.
Only one time has there been. Nope, there's only been one time, and it was before the Super Bowl.
No,
and
I'm talking about the Super Bowl merger.
Nope, there's never been a Super Bowl team to do that.
No.
But the only team to do that was the Green Bay Packers in 64,
and
65, 66.
When the Browns won?
No, the Browns never won 3 straight.
No?
But the Packers did in 64, 65, and 66.
Okay. And that's actually including NFL titles and a Super Bowl.
That's one Super Bowl and 2 NFL titles.
Yeah.
Those 60s Lombardi Packers were the real deal. Those 60 Lombardi Packers were the real deal.
But it was a different game. I mean, it seemed like every time
Packer
they lined
sweep.
up, it was
Packer
a full house formation. You got
Jim Taylor. You got
was it Bronco Nagurski in
Bart
there?
Starr. You got Taylor Craig. Bronco Nagurski played before that time, but yes, he did play for them.
I thought he was a 60s guy, no? He was way back. He's way throwback. Oh, man, you bringing the throwbacks on Thursday, huh?
Hey, I mean, you got to fit with the thing.
All day. All right, man. As Jake gets to that, no, a terrible throwback just because, we'll get to the what happened after that later on. But before the Super Bowl, man, it seemed like Elway was never going to get over the hump. And it just seemed like over and over, and it just seemed like a running joke that Elway was going to be that quarterback who could have a phenomenal year but never get it done.
And yesterday, me and Miles actually had a discussion, Elway versus Manning, and one of the things that I brought up was Elway brought 3 teams to the Super Bowls that had no right to being there. Those 3 teams were the 86 team, the 88 or the 87 team, and then the 89 team with the 3 amigos at wide receivers, Vance Johnson, Mark Jackson, and I can't remember the last guy's name, but that's insane. Those guys had 3 amigos. They had no right being in those Super Bowls, and John Elway brought them to those. And not only that, but in incredible fashion. I mean, there's 2 games back-to-back in 86 and 87 where the Broncos are known for beating the Browns on the drive or the fumble, insane last-minute game-winning either drives or fumbles.
Yeah.
It's insane.
All day. And that brings me to the tremendous throwbacks. And that's going to go to the next year, 97.
Packers jumping around. They rush 4. Plenty of time for John. Now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elway can run at the 10. Head first. He dives inside the 5 yards.
Elway spun around, but it's first and goal. A gain of 8. He wanted that first down.
And I tell you what, if you want to tell me the 37-year-old man doesn't want to win this game, that's sacrifice. Oh, man.
And that's just a phenomenal call right there by Dave Logan and Scott Hastings, some local
legends
what do you
here.
say, broadcasting legends in the
in
media game and whatnot.
Especially in the Denver media
and
game.
especially that call, Elway's helicopter, that's probably one of the most memorable calls in Denver sports history, not just Broncos history.
One of the greatest 9-yard runs in Super Bowl history. One of the greatest.
And like Scott Hastings says, you going to tell me the 37-year-old quarterback don't want to win the game? Man, come on. You moving like a like 2 miles per hour by that age?
I mean, I'm not even a Broncos fan, and I will admit that gives me chills just listening to that.
Oh, man. All day. And we
Legend
actually got a little
right
Elway poster right here. The man himself on the wall right here.
The myth, the legend.
No, and, 97, tremendous throwback. Same year Terrell Davis went for 2,000 yards.
No, he went in 98.
It was 98?
Yeah, in 98 he went for 2,000 yards.
Man, well, we're going to act like he did in 97 because I didn't throw this throwback on. No, it was Elway's first Super Bowl, though. Nonetheless, it's still a great throwback. And we could throw 97 with 98 if we want to.
And that's actually tying into what we're talking to on Inside the Huddle, actually, because on Inside the Huddle, our very first team that we're going to be talking about, number 50, is actually the 97 Broncos.
And they were ranked by NFL Network as the 50th greatest team of all time, and that's what made me kind of brought the inspiration to bring them as a tremendous throwback on today's segment. Now another throwback and bringing it back from earlier, what we said, the teardrop and Bowl stuff, Manute Bowl, all that. But hey, back in '93, and I don't know if y'all know this, Bowl wasn't the only one in the family who had offensive game. Manute Bowl knocked down 6 threes, and that's all. Every shot attempt besides one was a 3. Went 6 for 13.
Mm-hmm. And that, again, we are touching at the top of the hour against a Charles Barkley-led Phoenix Suns team who almost averaged a triple-double, going 36, 9, and 17. Almost 20 rebounds with almost 40 points. An insane feat.
An insane feat. I told him not to tell him right away earlier. I wanted to wait, just because.
You want to let the moment
just that, build. It's just, man, putting those numbers up back then is like putting up a quadruple double now, because you know how rare triple doubles were back in the day. And it's crazy because Charles Barkley, they clown on him, Shaq and them, on Inside the NBA, but he's still able to find himself in the box score of someone else's tremendous night.
See, I have to say, I feel like Shaq's the only one that can give him crap, though. And it's
Kenny
Smith. To Shaq.
Kenny Smith can, too.
Because
Kenny Smith knocked out Chuck's sons one year.
He did.
When Houston went on to go back-to-back.
He did. And even then, Scott Hastings, our local man, actually can talk a little bit of crap to him.
Why is that? With Detroit?
Yeah, because, he popped him.
Oh. No, Scott Hastings is the ultimate throwback right there. No, throwback player for sure. 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he's part of the bad boys. He's a bad boy.
He is.
He's a bad boy. I mean, anyone who's part of that roster is still a bad boy. They all had the philosophy. He might not have been the marquee name on that squad, but he's definitely a bad boy. All day, man. No, but going back to Bobo's throwback. Come on, this guy, I don't even think shot no more than 30, maybe even 20% from three-point range. And one night he just decides to turn it on. Yet those 92, 93 Sixers went 26 and 56. So I could imagine they gave Bo just, hey, man, just chuck it up. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, they gave him the green light. They really did.
And I think maybe
speaking of, who was the Nuggets? Who was the head coach there? It was actually the leading Nuggets winner. You
want to bring it back to a local level? Oh, yeah. Doug Moe was actually the coach of that 92-93 Sixers team that Bull knocked those 6 threes with. Shout out Manute Bol. As we say, R.I.P. to one of the GOATs. Come on, one of the tall GOATs.
Mm-hmm.
And why not? Who you choosing, Sean Bradley or Manute Bol? I got Manute Bol.
Bradley or Manute Bol. I'm going Manute Bol too, my man.
I'm going Manute Bol all day. Sean Bradley is like everybody wants someone to dunk on somebody. If you want somebody to get dunked on your team, you want Sean Bradley. Yeah, for sure.
No, you really do, man. You really do.
It started turning into a running joke that it wasn't cool to dunk on Sean Bradley no more because everyone just does that. No, man. Manute Bol is a real deal. No one was dunking on Manute Bol, though. He had 3 blocks, actually, to go with them 6 3-pointers that night, too, to put that on note.
half of his son's blocks in his son's debut game.
Yeah,
half your son's blocks.
Yeah, well, hey man, Bobo definitely got it in his genes. Offensive might be where he shines more, but he does still have that 7 footer mentality where he's a big man. He's very small. I don't want him trying to body anybody up in the post.
With his skinny arms.
Yeah, pick and pop, pace and space game for sure. But hey man, he's definitely meant for today's game. Now there's got to be a lot more discipline to him for sure. He's over there running and hitting transition threes. That's not the ideal offensive play, but when you haven't played for a team that's a professional team for over a year, you want to at least get in your reps and show them what you can do, have a little bit of fun. It was exciting seeing Bobo yesterday for sure, and more to come hopefully, not just in the exhibition games.
Again, they play the New Orleans Pelicans at 8:45 or 8:30 on Saturday, so I'll be watching.
For sure, and we'll be looking out for that. We'll come to you with an update that. This is the last show of the week. We'll see you on Monday. This is Staxxx and Shaggy. Always talking sports with us.
Y'all have a good one.
Yay.
Catch our show tomorrow, Inside the Huddle,
We'll see
3 to 5.
We'll see you next time. This is us on GoMileHigh.com, part of the Be On Air Network.